So Simok, do you remember when we were in Beijing and we went to that sort of special Baijiu cocktail bar, and there was that really obnoxious woman who was sitting there at the table with her 2 iPhones streaming? Well, I found it kind of ironic, the fact that she had been filming us the whole night in the whole bar and herself, like streaming it live to everybody. And it was the first time I'd actually seen that, by the way, it happening. And then while I was taking some B-roll and I happened to include her in the B-roll, she got very uppity, and remember she started asking, like saying, do you think it's fun to film? Do you think it's fun? That kind of thing. Meanwhile, and she was really quite aggressive. Meanwhile, she was filming everybody and broadcasting it live to the internet.
Little did she know how famous Winston is.
Anyway, yeah, this is the girl I'm talking about right here. Anyway, she was really rude just in general to everybody around there, but she's obviously what they like to call over here a Wang Hong,
yeah,
which is kind of like a famous
internet celebrity.
Yeah, internet celebrity, that's it. But I think it's about time we told people about this big phenomenon that's happening here. So let's hit the road and I'll let you explain to everyone what this is all about.
Sounds good. By the way, she was really hot.
Hot to trot. Okay, so Simok, how about you explain to everybody what this is all about?
Streaming.
Let's go left.
I'm not talking about the little tiny body of water. I'm talking about live streaming.
Okay.
Now, internet live streaming is a phenomenon here in China, and unlike a lot of people on Twitch and things like that you might know from back home, streaming gaming and all that kind of stuff, which is also popular here, this is mostly cell phone streaming. And there are so many cell phone apps here in China that people are using to stream their everyday lives. And it's 77% of the users on these streaming apps are actually female. And then over 70% of the viewership is male. Now, we all know sex sells, right?
Correct.
So it turns out that a lot of these streaming apps of these women, or I should say girls, a lot of them are actually under 18, are streaming their, their personal daily lives, maybe eating a banana, maybe having a little dance, you know. And, you have more comedic channels as well, where people answer your questions and, sing a song, make parody music. And actually, I saw these guys in the countryside that literally, like, loosen the wheel on a vehicle, and they'll drive, like, a bread van around a corner, and the wheel fly off, and then they'll tip over. They'll just, like, stream their accidents, basically. And what fuels all of this are virtual gifts. So basically, if a beautiful girl, like you mentioned in the beginning, maybe that Beijing girl, right? Yeah. She was dual streaming on 2 apps, right? 2 phones. Yep. And what's happening is that because she probably has a lot of fans, they're giving her little cakes and little flowers and things like that. And all of these are worth real world money, which is pretty insane, because some of the gifts that are being given by richer gentlemen are worth, up to 200, 300 RMB, and they'll sell them and send them in succession. And this basically, I'll close off with this opening point, is that it has led to some of these streamers pulling in over $1 million a year, right?
US dollars.
US dollars a year. And we're looking at, over 10 million broadcasts, like live broadcasts are being streamed every month. So there is a disturbing amount of revenue, to the point where it's almost one of the biggest industries currently in China right now.
Yeah, it's very true. And it's actually, unfortunately, because it blew up just overnight, it blew up, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the local government wasn't very happy about that. They're not happy about what's going on. They're trying to clamp down on it, but it's almost impossible. I mean, they've made rules now where, for instance, you're not allowed to eat bananas anymore. Right, because they were being very sexually suggestive, and
so they switched to cucumber.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing about China. There's this very strange balance where you've got basically this narrative here in the country that China's pure, and
by the way, thumbs up if you like that colonial house. Go ahead.
It's not colonial at all. Anyway, they've got this kind of pure thing where it's like, pornography is illegal, sure, and anything to do with corrupting the moral integrity of the people is bad and illegal. But yet, people are people, and they want to see that kind of thing, and sex sells. And it sells massively here, and they keep trying to get away with it and push the boundaries and go over the boundaries, and then they get kind of beaten back, and they find another way in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a very sexual culture, to be honest. Like, everything is sexualized,
Correct.
So it's going to be impossible for them to do that. And like I said, the amount of apps that are available now, when one kind of gets clamped down on and they're starting to harass some of the big users there, the Wong Hong like you're talking about,
Yeah.
then they just switch over to another app, right?
Correct.
So it's insane. I've seen some absolutely ridiculous things.
Yeah, actually, you know, the first time was in Beijing when I saw this happening. But then I was in a restaurant, actually in a Korean restaurant with my wife the other day.
Okay.
And these sort of, I'd say 30-something-year-old women came in. They were all dressed up in like crazy makeup and, you know, all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's go up here. You
Sure.
think there's something up here? And they sat down and literally just filmed themselves or broadcast themselves, dead end, sorry. Broadcast themselves eating. Okay, and I was just thinking, like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, why would anybody want to just watch some random people eating? They weren't talking or anything, they're just sitting there slurping on their food, you know?
Yeah.
And they're obviously making money out of that.
Sure.
And it got me thinking a little bit about this, and I'm just going to throw my personal opinion in here, what I think about this whole industry, right? I basically think that it's weird, okay? I think it's a bit invasive. I mean, I don't care, but imagine you're sitting in a restaurant and someone starts streaming themselves eating next to you.
Sure.
Suddenly you're going to be broadcast to the whole World Wide Web, and you might not like that, you know? So it's kind of invasive. I think it's very voyeuristic. Like, quite honestly, it's basically just voyeurism wrapped up in a different package.
Okay.
And I think it's quite bizarre that people would literally want to sit there and watch someone eat. What's here? Anything? No, trying to look for interesting places to go.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, what do you
I think
think?
it's super hypocritical for us to say anything about that, but I do think we can speak on the behalf of how we understand other people being affected by it,
Yeah.
right? Like,
What's
obviously
up here?
we can't. Oh, let's go up here. We can't. You know, we're on the internet. We put our lives on the internet. We're public figures, you know.
Yeah.
So we can't really complain about privacy, but we can complain about going backwards down this hill. Oh shit.
This is kind of cool.
Let's have a look.
There is a way up here.
There's a way where there's a will. Let's see.
Wow, wonder where we're going.
Oh, I'm coming.
Anyway, yeah, like I said, I don't mind. And, you know, we do YouTube videos and I broadcast all sorts of stuff all the time. But I still think it's very weird that people would sit there watching other people sleep. Because
Sure.
they do that too. Or
Yeah,
eat.
I mean, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff I've seen.
Okay.
And I have seen, where the hell are we going? Are you down this bush path? Because I lost you.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep going. It's kind of cool down here.
Okay. I've seen, you know, farmers just like basically streaming their like deformed fetal pigs that come out. I see people like eating raw ostrich feet. You know, like, it's just the weirder and the crazier stuff that you do, the more kind of internet gifts you get, right?
Yeah, correct.
So you see, I mean, like you said, I wanted to mention that band thing, right?
Yeah.
I think we're in someone's vegetable patch. That's spinach.
Is it spinach?
Yeah.
I thought it was just random weeds.
No.
Okay, well anyway, let's head back. Let's go try find that cool temple that's around here.
Sure.
Okay.
What I wanted to say was, you know, like the banning of bananas thing, you can't do it, right?
Yeah.
They've also recently tried to ban cleavage, because like that's a massive thing that, you know, Chinese guys want to see.
I think
So you see
any guy wants to
I know,
see.
but I mean like on the streams, right?
Okay,
So like
alright.
clearly it shifted towards a lot of women showing their cleavage, right?
Yeah.
For more and more gifts. Oh my god. Was that? I think it was a snake, dude.
Where, really? You got a snake?
It was a horrible like hissing and then a
Nah, that's just a big mosquito.
We'll find out from the footage. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then so they wanted to ban that, right?
Yeah.
So they cracked down on like some of the more notorious, you know, pretty girls. Then they banned. Right after that, you know what became popular was girls wearing like nylon stockings.
Oh, okay,
you know,
and they're probably
fishnet
like
type
putting
stuff.
them on or something.
Yeah, that kind of shit. Like
Slowly
obviously,
put it
yeah.
on, you know. Ooh, look at this! I can put on a
Exactly.
stocking. Look, wow! I can wear clothes.
I don't want to, you know, watch you imitate that ever again. I'm gonna get ahead here.
Okay, yeah, please. Go
Anyway, so
Yeah.
then they tried to get rid of that, but I just went on today in preparation for this episode, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, I would say like 90% stalking and cleavage videos. So
Yeah.
that's just how it is, you know?
That's the thing, though. It's grown out of control, and they can come in and try and censor it, and then a new one will pop up.
Yeah.
And I think it might get to the point where they get pissed off enough that they just shut down any kind of internet streaming protocols.
The problem though is that it doesn't really threaten the party's power, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of immoral, as they say,
Well,
right?
it does. It threatens the sort of moral fabric of the society
That's
here,
true.
which they care so much about.
That's true.
So we'll see where it goes, but who knows? Right now it's massive and it's
Right.
huge. I just don't know how much longer they're going to be able to keep it up.
It's true.
Seamilk, I think the temple thing's just up to the left somewhere, so keep an eye out for the next turnoff.
Okay, sounds good. I kind of wanted to wrap it up here with a personal experience, right?
Okay.
Now, in research for this show, so we knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I wanted to, is it up here?
Yeah, to the left.
To the left. I wanted to actually go and test out a Chinese live streaming app. So I put myself on the line. And I found out that it was really awkward. I've done streams on this channel.
Yeah.
And I've done streams, you know, with you before, and it's totally fine. And I can do it alone.
Yeah.
But it was awkward because I'm sitting there speaking Chinese, which is fine, but
Yeah.
it's people like saying like, oh, sing a song, oh, do this, you know?
Yeah.
They just expect you to kind of like entertain them. It's not like a Q&A, right?
So
it's people that...
you're basically a cam girl.
I'm a cam girl that's not showing her tits, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just showing my like awkward kind of shyness because I have no idea what to do.
Yeah,
And it's
gotcha.
unscripted and it's weird. And yeah, I mean, I just found it unpleasant.
Yeah, I got you.
I do
got
find
you.
myself from time to time looking at streams though. These dogs. Why do we always find angry dogs, Winston?
I have no idea. But anyway, let's just go see if there's a nice view. If they're chained up, we should be okay.
Yeah. Off the chain.
Yeah, wow, that's quite a nice view over there.
That is nice.
Yeah, so there's like one more thing I'd like to just finish up with here, and that is, I seem to have noticed that Chinese people they absolutely love this kind of information overload, you know what I mean? If you watch any streaming video or TV show, they have like all the people commenting, you know, just on the show, and it'll be streaming over your monitor, and you can't even watch it because it's just text everywhere.
Sure.
And you go to a Chinese website and it's just pop-ups and 10 million things coming at you all the time. So, you know, this streaming thing, if you ever watch one, all you see are these little things popping up everywhere, and these little hearts and little things, and they love it. It's just like information overload.
Sure.
Anyway, that's the way it is. It's kind of interesting. We'll probably leave some links in the description to some of this stuff we're talking about. Yeah, and some of the apps or whatever. But do you have anything to say to our subscribers before we sign off?
Whether, you know, you're swimming in a stream, river, or lake,
yeah,
or if you're just sitting in front of your computer watching this video right now, I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Well, whether or not you partake in the whole streaming thing, I'll try not to judge you too harshly.
Okay.
But whether you do or don't, guys, please, whatever you do, wherever you are, let's strike a pose. And like us at the top of this temple kind of thing, why don't you just stay awesome?
When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind work backwards,